I thank you guys for being here again, and it's always a lot easier and a lot better when you win. I promise you that. And we probably the way we won will be hopefully character building for the future. Wasn't easy. You got to give your opponent credit. They did some really good things. I thought they had the guys ready to play. And we were able to overcome them making a couple of runs at us. We were able to overcome the elements and deal with them. And we were able to do some things we went in to do, and that's rush the football. And not saying that we're going to be rushing for 200-something yards every game, but we're going to try to make sure that that we have the running game as a part of our offense, and I think in the long term it will help us to throw it better and give us ways to score points. So defensively, I thought we played hard. We did find a few times in there where we got a little tired and bogged down and defensively, and maybe didn't quite get everything we got to get. But I was proud of the way we made some plays and got some turnovers and had 2 fourth-down stops, which were huge. We can get a lot better defensively, and I think we will. Offensively, we had a couple of turnovers. One when we had a chance to salt the game a little bit, although 24-0 in this day and age is not salted away by any stretch of the imagination, but we had a chance to go up by 24 at one time and didn't get it done. Turned it over going in on the 5, and certainly a negative. But again, in total, kicking game, with the exception of giving up the bunt, which that's our fault. We coached ourselves into that one, and getting a PAT blocked. I thought we recovered well and at least made sure they didn't return that one for 2, which if you block a PAT nowadays, you can take it to the other end and score for 2. And but with the exception of those 2 things, I thought I think we held them to -6 yards punt returns. And got 1 turnover in the kicking game off the rugby. And their average starting position when we kicked it off was at the 20. If you kick it in the end zone, it comes out to the 25. So, it's really a tribute to the work that we put in and the effort that we got out of our kicking game. And we didn't get much out of the return game, but we made no mistakes except for when we had a pretty good return there on kickoff one time when they kicked it to the other side of the field. We had a penalty. And we lost the penalty battle. We had 107. I think they had 50 or 53 or 54, something like that. So, we certainly got plenty to work on. I'm glad we're working on it with a win. I'm glad we're working on it with the kind of win it was, because it wasn't all that beautiful. It was just one of those things where we had to keep coming back to the table and getting the job done. And I think that certainly can, if you take it the right way and work hard this week, can make you a better football team. I certainly hope that's what we do. We got Lafayette coming in here. Lafayette was at championship caliber in the Sun Belt last year. They've done a great job. Mark Hudspeth is a high energy guy and smart football coaches, and they've done a great job. And they got us down there last year. We helped them a little bit, but they got us. And we're looking forward to the opportunity to have a good week and get ready for our home opener and our conference opener at 6 o'clock. I hope our people are engaged about this thing. I know everybody's sort of looking forward to Mississippi State and Navy. That's all I hear. But let me tell you, this game this week is big or bigger than anything else that we've had in a couple of years as far as need to have great support at the game. And I hope and I believe that we'll get that. Questions?
Coach, as far as the home opener, you've won 5 of your last 6 against Louisiana-Lafayette. Why have you been so successful against them?
Well, the players, I think, and we didn't get it done last year at Lafayette, but we've been able to get it done against them over a period of time. It's all about those guys that lining up each and every down, no matter where it's offense, defense, or special teams, and performing. And we had our chances last year. We gave up too much. We weren't good enough to get it done, and that's. I think these guys, and we may be as good as Lafayette, we may not be as good as Lafayette, but when you tee this football up, the shape it is and everything, you don't ever know which way it's going to bounce. You got to try to make the bounces go your way, and we'll try to have a positive week and get our work done and see what happens.
Coach, are you happy with the number of plays you got off against UAB? Maybe 67 or 60?
Well, 68 or something. I don't offensive plays. We're probably shooting for 75, which means that we're ginning pretty good if we're getting in that range. We've averaged up in the 70s, I think, over the last couple of years. But whatever amount it takes to win is what we're looking for. But we are fast paced, and I think we get some advantage when we're gelling and moving fast paced, getting the ball off quick. We're a total signal football team on offense, and when we don't sub, a lot of times we're trying to get it off. As soon as that umpire moves, we're pulling it, and so enough plays to win the game. We missed a few things in the game that were close to being big. We had Chip behind the guy, and Corey got late pressure on one of the early deep throws. We missed Jaquan on an early seam throw. It was right down the pipe, and Corey went to Chip one time when I thought we had Jaquan Robinson down the seam, maybe for a touchdown early in the game. But the number of plays, sometimes the game, and UAB was not gonna. They were not gonna just run up and snap the ball. They were trying to pick and choose the spots they wanted to run it, dictated by where we lined up. And they would freeze us, look. So they were burning a little time, and which is a good plan for them against us, I would say. Maybe get us to be more impatient. But I thought Kenny and the offensive staff stayed patient. We rushed the football. Our offensive line got after it. Sean, with the exception of the turnover, had a great day, and and he had to shoulder the burden because, with a couple of guys dinged and out and young, we can't. I thought Corey and especially Justin Albert. Those two guys went in, and Justin was in and out. He was in at receiver. And we'd break Sean with Justin in the backfield. He made some really good runs himself. Corey had one big run that almost popped down on their end. And so we just continue to grow and get Sean the amount of rest that he needs in the course of a ball game. But we practice that way offensively, and we run a lot more plays in practice in a short period of time than we run in a game. So our guys are accustomed to it, but the energy that's exerted and the pressure and the nervousness of a game and the heat, and then it's raining, it's hot, it's raining, it's hot, it's back and forth. So we had to deal with a lot of things, and which makes me even more prouder of the total group. Dealing with the elements and the adversity of a college football game.
Last year, I think the score was 33-17 in the loss. Troy scored 39 points against UAB. Louisiana-Lafayette 40. Do you anticipate Saturday's game to be a shootout or more of a defensive battle?
Well, I have no idea what it'll wind up being. I think they're very capable in moving the football and scoring. They have a quarterback, a left-handed kid that I've always liked, even since he was a freshman. I thought he was a good player then when he was just getting in the game a little bit, and really a good leader, but it could turn into a high-scoring game. Most games these days are can get away and get up in the 30s, and I for some reason I don't think it'll be that way, but the team probably that can rush the football and control the ball and not turn it over, provided everything else is equal, is a team that'll have a chance to win.
Entering conference play during week 2, how does that impact the team, test the team, or does it make a difference?
Hey, we've entered conference play at all times of the year. I think we've even opened in conference play before. So, I mean, the conference has to do according to their school's schedules and what they can do. They got to put that schedule together. So, and I'm sure they try to have it, 1 or 2 early ones that people are interested in for TV. I don't know. I guess it's on TV, is it not? Every other game is. They must have been doing some 5-minute ads up there in Birmingham the other day. It was, but we said this in here before, TV rules, and conference play early is fine if that's what we need to do. It's just like the 4-game playoff NCAA football, BCS 4-game playoff. If it's good for college football, it's going to be good for us. If it's good for the conference for us to play early, that's fine. If we need to wait, that's fine. So I don't have a real strong opinion either way,
Last year, you guys start with Clemson. You start with Arkansas before you even get to the conference. Get UAB last week, and you'll have Louisiana-Lafayette before you have to play an SEC team the following week. Does it help playing these type of teams to prepare for an SEC team versus playing the SEC right away?
Well, I'm a lot more interested in what we're going to be facing this week than looking ahead to Mississippi State or anybody outside of conference. But I would say that if we're going to have probably a physical game, and I'm sure that Mississippi State will too. They play Auburn, so that game is basically the furthest thing from my mind right now. And but regardless, this game this week is the most important game of the year, and not only is it the next game, and we're 1-0, and we've had a pretty good legacy in Veterans Memorial, and so I want to be sure that we do everything we can do, and of course we'll have Mississippi State in the same venue, but it really doesn't matter to me if we play open with a SEC or ACC or we play I wish I could pick who we play. I would maybe do what ULL did and get me somebody that I knew we could play for a half and win and play all the backups. But no matter what, the set of circumstances are set and the schedule is set, and we'll deal with it as it comes. But Lafayette's number one target right now.
Coach, you talked before the game last week that you like this team's attitude going in, but the key would be how they responded to adversity. Your thoughts after they fought off that UAB surge to win by 10?
Well, I was really proud of them. We certainly weren't perfect. We had a couple of little things in the kicking game that made us not perfect, but very good. We did a good job. We had a couple of turnovers. and we missed a few things offensively, and I thought our defense was better, and they really rose up in a couple of occasions there, especially the fourth down plays to give us the ball and got us a couple of turnovers, 3 turnovers. And I tell you, one key play was when they completed the crossing route and 26 Willis came all the way from having covered a guy, came back out and had to come to balance and use the sideline, made the hit, and the guy was sort of reaching, the ball comes out and we get it on the 1 or 2. That's a huge turnaround right there. But there's a lot of things like that in the course of the game, any game, that's going to make a difference in who wins and who loses. And I thought we had some really good things defensively that we can build on certainly this week.
Speaking of defense, Devon Terry.
How about that?
He worked his way up to it, and he's had a heck of a game. What do you think about it?
I think I said something about this in the press thing up in Birmingham, but I have let Devon Terry off practice to go work where he could pay his way to school. And just, told him, hey, man, when we get into scout team work this week, you're going to have to be back now. But, he's been a guy that's been tenacious in his goals and what he wanted to do. And, he's like me. He's not perfect. He hasn't been perfect. But he has developed into a dependable young man who has worked hard, and he got some payback. Today I'm really proud of him and for him and for us.
Coach, I know you said that you don't expect the game against Lafayette to be in the 30s. With that said, if you had to pick one facet, whether it's the passing game, whether it's the running attack, whether it's defense, what facet in particular is going to get you guys the win on Saturday?
Well, all three is the way I'm going to answer that. But, I mentioned that rushing the football and controlling the rush, I think will be paramount. Certainly, you mix in a couple of turnovers either way, and you offset some of that being able to rush it or being able to control the rush. So, running and defending the rush and turnovers usually turn the course of a game. And, of course, every time you kick the ball, every time the ball's kicked, there's a huge amount of field position at stake. And if you can maintain a level of 35, 45 yards of field positions, best offensive play you got, really, because if you execute, you can certainly get a lot of yards out of that. So it really, you can't in this day and age, as well as everybody has. I think everybody focuses on the three-phase approach and work hard. We work as much time on kicking in practice as we do offense and defense. And I can remember when I first started coaching college ball, I was helping coach the punt team. We'd wait, everybody would go in, and we'd be out there after practice working on the punt team. And we were pretty good, but back in those days, everybody understood that. I don't know if we get that done today in this time, but it's a three-phase game. It's going to take a performance level, winning performance level in all three phases for either of us to win the game or get it in or out or back, wherever it lands as far as scores,
That running game was really not almost there last year, but now you have a huge day in your opening game. And how much pressure is that just going to take off this offense this year?
Well, if we can continue to rush the ball, we were below 100 last year a game, I believe. Isn't that right? Anybody know? We can continue to rush the ball consistently. If you just had, if you throw a number out there about around 150 yards a game, boy, that kind of average would really give us enough thump to make folks sit in there and not just flush out of there to go cover pass, And so I hope we can. And we're pretty good throwing it, but we can win a game without rushing for those kind of numbers. But it certainly would make it a better mix if we could, and I think give us a better chance.
Anything else?
Thank y'all.
questions for Sean Southwood whenever y'all are ready.
Star of the game, man. Just talk about having your big performance and helping your team win.
We had a great game. Offensive line did a great job blocking. Coaches called great plays, and I just went out and did my job. That was running the football. Came out with a W, so that was a good thing.
Your legs still working all right? You know, did you run them off in Birmingham?
Oh yeah, so they doing fine. Just a little sore.
Yeah, you hope to have any more games like that this season, or are you going to try to do better than that?
I'm just keep doing my job, and if that happens, that's great. You know, I won't complain. We're getting 200 yards. So.
You didn't have any cramps or anything. I was glad to see that. A lot of times early in the season you get cramps.
Oh, Coach, they've been conditioning me, so I've been just working on conditioning the whole summer and during camp. So that paid off for me.
So what does it say about this offense that if you can establish a run game like you had on Saturday, is that just going to help things out if you can keep this up and help Corey out with the passing game? How do you feel about how this is going to integrate with the offense?
I feel like it's going to help out a lot if we are able to establish a run game early on. Corey be able to get some long passes downfield. You seen Chip Reeves, he a deep threat guy, so play action pass, get defenses on their heels. They don't know if we're just going to run the ball. We can play action and throw it deep on them.
Corey talked about the O-line and what they did to help you out and open up some big holes for you. Giving props to the O-line for helping you out?
They get all the props. They really don't get all the glory because, they blocking, but I give all the props to them. They did an excellent job blocking.
You got a big game coming up this weekend. Lafayette coming to town. How do you feel about them coming here since y'all lost there last year?
Oh, excited. Can't wait. Just ready to play.
You got honored by the conference this week for Player of the Week. How does it make you feel?
Oh, it feels good, but more important, just getting that W felt even better. So.
You've had recent success against Louisiana-Lafayette with the exception of last year's loss. When you think of the Raging Cajuns and what you're going to be facing in that defense, what comes to mind?
I know it's going to be a battle the whole game. It's going to be a war. I just know I got to have my mind right to go to battle and go to war with them guys. And I'm just focusing on helping my team win again.
You're happy to see more of a stress on the running game?
Oh, of course. It's always good to be able to touch the ball, but whatever I can do to help my team win, if that's just blocking, catching the ball out the backfield, whatever that is, I enjoy doing just so my team can win.
Questions for Devon Terry?
Coach Blady talked about how hard you've worked to get to this point. Tell us a little about actually getting in the game, actually getting play time, and doing what you did on Saturday.
Man, it's a blessing, to be able to come out here and, help my team after all this hard work, out the gun, spring ball, then come out here and get this first victory after a season like last year, Just an honor and a blessing to be able to play D1 football.
Yeah, but didn't that have the game that you had personally in the game? Should be a good way to make your debut.
Just hard work, man. Hard work pays off. Do the right thing, under a good coach, Hall of Fame coach. I'm just blessed to be able to play this game with all my teammates and come out there and get that first victory.
Saturday, you talked about how sometimes it comes easier for you in the game. Talk a little bit about that instead.
Just, playing behind a player like Kenoris, going full speed every play, going hard at practice, not skipping reps in the weight room. You do all that, all the hard things, ain't nothing going to come easy, but in the game, it'll come a little bit easier to you.
What are that, perseverance or the dedication, you've been here for so long and finally working your way each and every year to this point. Talk about, that path or your journey, now to here.
I'm just, I'm blessed right now to have a mother, and a family that, is able to pay my way through school if I can have the opportunity to play football. And, I just look up to my mother and I see all the things that she done throughout her lifetime. I just think I should be able to do it too. A little bit of hard work, and I just thank her.
Got a big game coming up this weekend, though. Lafayette coming into town. Tell about Lafayette, how you feel about playing Lafayette here at home for your home opener and conference opener.
It's going to be a tough game. Like Sean said, we working hard, starting off our week yesterday with a good workout, good game plan, and we coming out there trying to get another victory. Start the conference off 1-0.
Playing in front of the home crowd, though, it's going to be a pretty big deal.
That's going to be huge. That's going to be huge. We're going to need our crowd to be live out there, help us get, hyped up. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war out there, and we're just trying to be the ones come out on top. Thank y'all.
Definitely worth it.